So one of the issues I recently ran into with building out mission control is that when a user on Windows tried to load up a new session and they clicked start, this panel would load up and it would automatically close out and they couldn't actually interact with Claude Code. Now, the issue is that this thing worked perfectly fine on Mac. Like I do my development primarily on Mac, so it's very easy for these issues to surface up and then I can just go ahead and fix them. But since I don't have a Windows machine, it's actually kind of hard for me to figure out how to debug this. But luckily there are something called virtual machines that you can spin up, and then you can do all your development inside a virtual machine with whatever operating system that you want. So that's the approach I took for fixing this issue, and I'm going to walk you through how I did it with AWS. So on AWS, you can go and launch a new instance, and you can select a Windows machine. So they have a bunch of different options here, but I selected Windows, and then I did base Windows Server 2025. And this will actually give you a machine that you can remote desktop into, right? I would recommend picking like something that's like a large or something, because I picked the medium, which is 2 ZB CPUs and 4 gigabytes of memory, but it's just not enough. It's kind of slow. So I would pick a little bit larger. And then also when you're spinning up the network, make sure you only allow your IP address to remote in. And then thirdly, give it like 100 gigabytes of storage space. The 30 works fine, but after you install Visual Studios, which you need to compile and build Electron apps, and after you install Node and PNPM and your Node modules, it really starts to eat up all that free space. And so I would say at least do 100 gigabytes. But then after you spin this up, you can actually go into your instance and you can download an RDP file. Now what this RDP file is basically information of how to remote into the machine. And I've been using Windows app. This was previously called Remote Desktop, but I basically just open this up. I double click it's going to ask you for a password, which you can go and click get password and basically paste in whatever PIM key that you use to spin up the machine. And then once you have that, you can actually just connect into it. All right, so now we are remoted into that VM, and I already have like a bunch of stuff installed so I can actually do local development. So if I go into the mission control directory, I can do a pnpm dev. And I have Claude Code on this machine now. I have Codex on this machine. And I was basically just trying to run this app locally, looking through the logs, passing that to Codex and Claude Code to have it debug and figure out why when Claude Code tried to load up, it could no longer actually like spin up the proper session. And it turns out the issue is related to pathing. Obviously, when you're developing on Windows, your Claude Code installation is going to be on a different path than on Mac and then on Linux. I will say I did prompt Claude Code when I was doing the Mac development to, hey, like make sure that you keep in mind that different operating systems had different paths for where Claude Code could be installed. But obviously there's hallucinations. It can't fully understand where the paths are. And every person's machine might have a different location for the path for Claude Code. So now I can actually click into my projects. Again, this is on the Windows 2025 base server. I can spin up a new Claude Code session, and then I can start prompting just like I could on the Mac version. Honestly, that's all I want to kind of show in this video. It's very easy to set up a virtual machine. You could also spin up a Linux machine if you want to as well, like they have Ubuntu instances. And this is just one approach. I know there's other third-party services that could potentially allow you to do the same thing. And leave a comment below if you have a better suggestion. There might be ways to just run Windows locally, like with a VirtualBox or something. But I felt like this is the easiest approach for my setup because I already have an AWS account. I'm already kind of hosting some stuff on here. And it's kind of a couple clicks and you have a whole VM that you can actually start playing around with. All right, so if you guys like this video, let me know. Other than that, go check out agentsystem.dev. You can join the waitlist. I had this idea of building out all these different things like skills, and we have like a course to teach about how to use mission control to build out. I've decided to scale back. I'm just going to try to release mission control and stick to that for right now. And then I might start adding in these other things when I get more time to test them. But if you guys do want to play around with mission control, I do have a light version that'll be ready soon that you guys can download and install and start doing your agentic coding in, if that sounds interesting to you. Other than that, have a good day and happy coding.